So our goal today, and we're going to be doing brakes and rotors on this Lincoln. That'll be apparent once we get in here. But the goal today is to swap out this rear knuckle. Apparently that these bushings, when they all go bad, you can't just put new ones in. I thought it was a lie, so I called Ford, actually a couple Ford dealers, and no, it's correct. That is true. These parts are like $600 and something. I'll have to get the quote. The real price should be popping up on your screen any second now for these parts. But I searched around, and I found a Ford dealer that'll ship anywhere for free, and I saved a bunch of money. I'll leave the link in the description. And since we got to take this off anyways, figured might as well replace these rear hub assemblies. We're gonna do that for you right now. Lug nuts are 20 millimeters. Okay, I lost that one. But yeah, as you can see, you're gonna need a lot of tools for this one. Give the tire a kick. All right, so you're gonna want a good set of jack stands, and then you want this jack free, and this will help with supporting the lower control arm with that spring. I'll show you that later. This doesn't have any of the bolts, so those are all missing, so awesome. Out of 10. All right, so let's start off with the caliper. And again, if you weren't gonna be replacing the brakes and everything, you could just take the caliper bracket off, hang it up, and then go from there. But as you can tell, we gotta do a complete disassemble. Whoever did the brakes last time, there's no hardware in here. So it's just dumb. But after doing the other side though, I see why. I mean, I would never personally do that, but it was almost impossible to put those brake hardware. Okay. I don't like to use my ratchet wrenches to do stuff like this because they're kind of expensive, and unfortunately I purchased every Cobalt tool that they had because they're lifetime warranty, but then I find out Cobalt no longer warranties the parts if they're not in store, and my store no longer sells Cobalt, so they switched 100% over to Craftsman. So that's a little fun fact. Knowing for a fact we're gonna need these. Nice pry bar. Oh, yeah, see how it's just, they're not even, they're like permanently together, as you can tell. They're just welded on there. All else fails, that works. All right, as you see, this rear caliper is shot. We're gonna have to talk to them about fixing that. We'll see what happens, but we're gonna move on though. We got a lot of work to do right now ahead of me, so hook it up there, just get it out of the way. As you can see, they just bounce around in there. Yeah, no hardware at all on this one. Wow. No good. All right, so the rear ones are 15 millimeters for the caliper bracket. Okay, there's that one's loose. There we go. No, that one's loose. All right, down, make sure these are functioning, which they're not, so that's awesome. It's another job we'll be doing later. I'm not even gonna. Time to bust this out. I'm gonna grab a 4-pound hammer and just I am not left-handed, so that sucks. All right, it's either a 10 or an 8. Let's see, here's 10's not gonna work. Let's get this, oh, great. Let's get the speed sensor out. These things are pretty expensive, so yeah, if you don't want to, speed sensors that is, yeah, you don't want to be messing around with that. This kind of looks like it was glued. Yeah, it does. Kind of looks like there's glue in there, huh? Luckily for this job, I don't really care because we're taking the whole knuckle down. All right, moment of truth, here we go. Just wanna break it loose. Grab it by the base, not the wire. Oh, it's coming. Yeah, look at that, awesome. That's cool. Separate it from here. This can just go up somewhere. I'll slide that back in there so we know that goes where. Okay, we'll get this bracket off. All right, so my idea is to unloosen everything so we can swing this forward. We still need the bolts out of this one. They don't come with new bolts. Actually, this side ain't even bad, so, but it doesn't matter. We got the two. The one over there is pretty bad shape. All right, So top one, 24 millimeter nut. And I think that bolt right here is a 21. Yes, it is. Awesome. Get the nut, chisel, she's gone. All right, there's that. Now we could try to work on this sway bar link. An 8, no. All right, there's that. 15, so it's a 15 millimeter. Okay, we're just gonna break that loose. So you wanna hold the center bolt with a 7 millimeter, and then hopefully if you have one, a ratchet wrench, so that you can back this out. Oh, that's how to go like this. These rear sway bar links are also shot. I mean, you could tell you can move them with your hand, but they don't want to replace those right now, so we're gonna move on. By the way, the entire job was from a shop was quoted at $1,800. So yeah, it's a pretty steep bill for this. It's really easy. Well, let's try 21. That's not it. A lot of 21, 24s, and 18s. So we'll find the 18. Perfect. All right. Now I think this is the 8 millimeter. Yeah, so this bolt, this center screw right here is a 8 millimeter. All right, nice and smooth came out. Okay, let's tuck this out of the way, and there we go. That's something helpful I do. It's also an 18. Yes. Awesome. Now, see what that bolt head is. We'll try 13 or 15. All right, so it's an 18 millimeter bolt, but a 15 millimeter bolt head. 18 millimeter nut. And if you were smarter than me, you would start by spraying everything down with some lubricant. That'll take the pressure off that because we're gonna have to remove this shock. Now, what's nice about the shock is it's actually, there's no nut on it. The nut's actually built into the base of the shock. So as long as you find the, try it 18. Yeah, so it's an 18 millimeter. Save some time, I'll just use the air tools. Now really we just gotta loosen up this bottom bolt. I don't want to take it completely off, but that is a 24 millimeter nut. There we go. Perfect. And as always, the front is a 21. The bolt's a 21. I just want to loosen this one right now. Oh, am I still connected to anything? No, just the shock. I'll go ahead and back this bolt out. Speed it up, I'm just gonna lock that into this one and just give this one. Here we go. Oh, this ain't one. This one ain't gonna be as good to me as the other ones. The other side was really easy. So we'll go ahead and get this bolt out. Just take it off here. All right. This is what we're looking at. Yeah, these are all tore up. $18 millimeters. Okay, we'll take this off. And then, I believe this is a 10, wherever I put that 10 at, right here, maybe. No, way too big. Let's get this little bracket off. It's an 8 millimeter. There you have it. There's the knuckle assembly. Okay. Let's get this new one. Rebuild it. How do we do this here? There we go. I'll drive that screw in. Alright, let's get some anti-seize, put a little bit, drive that around. That way if they have to replace these in the future, shouldn't have too big of a problem. There are two different size holes. The two closer ones go right here. Start that one. And one more. Once we get this tightened, we'll go ahead and get like a napkin, and because you want to make sure there's nothing on this magnetic ring in there, anything that can block that speed sensor. All right. Now. Okay, so here's kind of the horrible part about the job. So it's gonna go like this. Now we're gonna have to get this in first, and then we're gonna have to try to, I'm gonna have to try to spin it and rotate it in. Pretty close to impossible, actually. It took me quite a while to do it. So here it goes. Get this one started. Because I tried putting the bottom 24mm nut and bolt back on, and there was just no way I could rotate it. But I do have an idea. We're gonna try that anyways. To make it easier, I'm gonna switch which way this was. So squeeze this in here. Oh, yeah, okay, never mind. No, I'm not, 'cause that's why they did it. That's why they did it. Again, you don't want to tighten any of these down. We just want to get them so they don't come out. Go nice and clean. Yeah, see a shockle line right up. Yeah, those are pretty crappy too. Oh, there we go. Spin this up and down and around. Back up. Here's my bolt. Yeah, it comes in handy. Whew. It's okay. So like I said, actually that wasn't too bad. It actually went a lot smoother than the other side. Now if we go ahead and let this down a little bit. My jack doesn't know the meaning of a little bit. So put this through, get it into the it's an 18. Like I said, I don't want to fully put anything in. tuck that back in. Make sure there's no buildup on that, but there you go. I'll put this 8mm bolt in. All right, I got that in. Yeah, I'll probably squeeze this in right now. There we go. See, it's not a hard job, it's just very expensive, and honestly, it's really not even that time consuming. But yeah, that's it. Everything's done. Everything's just having the right tools. Bottom one, 24mm nut, 21mm bolt head. Go ahead and drive that in. Using a 15mm and the 7mm. Go ahead and tighten this one up. So using the 18mm ratchet wrench for the nut, you got a 15mm to hold the bolt, and spin that one on. Now, also using an 18mm ratchet wrench with the for the nut and an 8mm to hold the bolt still, you want to put on the rear tie rod end.